Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Day After Podcast.
What up, guys? Hope you've enjoyed our brand steals, enjoyed all the like craziness that has been season 9. Yeah, 9 seasons of this.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I believe this will be like our 46th episode or season or however you want to reference
Around
each one of them.
I
Yeah.
guess like I kind of consider each installment as like an episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever there's like a winners at war or like an all out kind of like best of the best all stars, that kind of like ends it. Or kind of like how that's kind of like a series. So at the end of series 2 with Regina's thing,
Mm-hmm.
obviously when that ended, we were doing our review of actual Survivor 41. And then we jump back into this.
Exactly.
So I kind of there's kind of like a separation through that.
Yeah. And then we're on series 3 though, but when we started this, I didn't think we were going to get this far, especially this quickly.
I know. I mean, that's one thing. We made the best out of the situation with with how the pandemic affected the content we would be providing. So and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I gush all the time, but it is something where I look forward to doing. It's always fun because telling these stories, my reactions, me almost jumping out of a window. I
Yeah,
almost actually
exactly.
did that in an audition once. That wasn't my
What Ryan
intention.
will do to get a part in Hollywood.
I actually did get the part. But it wasn't my intention to actually. I just wanted to jump on the windowsill. But then I kind of realized, to someone that doesn't know me personally, they might think I'm trying to jump out of the window. So if you think I won't, Mr. Joe.
I know. I was a little afraid that when Danny, if Danny Boatwright won, like it would have been it would
I
have been
mean,
the worst.
out of all the BS fourth place eliminations we've had, I would say that's the one I'm happiest with.
That's the one that
I mean,
Ryan just
All
doesn't
Stars
care.
4, All Stars 4 is probably still my favorite of all time.
Yeah. Which I think Danny Boatwright is part of that.
In the sense of it's in the sense of having an antagonist that the person we want to root against and not love love to hate, but more like this is the enemy, we have to take them down. One day she's gonna watch this channel.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna. I still want to get a cameo from Danny Boatwright for our
I
channel.
feel like how we'll talk about it later about the cost of that, but we'll discuss this off camera.
Yeah. Okay, but enough of that. We got a draft here for All Stars 9. There's been some pretty interesting people this season, so it's definitely going to be a good one, I think.
Oh yeah. I definitely yeah, one comes to mind, and if you take this, Joe, I will kill you.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about.
But one of the best wins we've ever had. One of the best players, kind of like how Regina George kind of cemented herself on the Mount Rushmore. We also had another player that did accomplish the same thing in their own respective way.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to say I want to see him play one more time at least and do good. For me to consider him in that category.
I mean, there is an argument to be made, but if we're going by just a single outing, or it's hard to should we just start the draft and then I get to it?
Yeah, I figured you can draft first because you picked the winner of the last season of Survivor.
Yeah. So we've talked about him. We're talking about Steve Rogers. And our our holiday was it Holiday Hustle?
Holiday Havoc.
Holiday Havoc. I put Steve Roger, Captain America, as to represent Independence Day. And he won not only in the most Captain America way possible, but he broke our Brant Steele records. He also played, I'd say, 3 out of 4 idols correctly, and not only correctly, used it on someone else each and every time. It's like, Regina plays true to her character in the Brant Steels, but for this is like above and beyond like what this. It was so impressive, and I was like, oh damn! It's just like it was fun to watch. It did make a lot of people from Holiday Havoc, kind of like fall to the like wayside of it. There's still some good peeps from there, but it's kind of like when you had Russell Hantz in Samoa, because he played such an outstanding like game and such an entertaining game. You forget some of the other people that were in Samoa.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna kind of because I completely agree. I think Captain America is definitely had to be on this after his outing. I'm gonna kind of also transition this into my next pick because I believe that once this certain player went home, it became the Captain America show moving forward. And I'm picking for my first pick, Ira Hayes, Captain America's partner during Holiday Havoc.
Oh yeah, he was also great. They had a great World War II kind of like World War II veteran alliance, and like they were really good allies.
Yeah, exactly. The only person to beat Captain America in an individual immunity challenge this season.
I could have sworn Marge won.
Marge won, but it was in the double like teams. So Captain America and Ira were on the same one, but Marge was on the other team fighting for immunity. So yeah, but in terms of just being able to beat Captain America, Ira was the only one to do it. I definitely think once Ira goes home, Captain America definitely really had to put on like I kind of have to win out from here, otherwise I'm going to be the target, and he ends up doing it. But a lot of that comes from Ira's kind of takedown there, and it becoming the Captain America show.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like him just tanking out, man. They do make a good duo. All right. Now, speaking of history people or old-timey people, we have Tashiko Kishida from I'm sorry, I forget the names. The history one.
Yeah, one for the history books.
One for the history books. That's gonna be half of this. What's it called again? She played such an under the radar game, and it's interesting to see like if Henry VIII's Boo didn't go home, how like things might have played out. Would Tashiko had like more of a chance to like prove herself and get her win? So like I always was like, I didn't count her out, even if it didn't seem like she was doing much. She was pretty strategic during it, and I'm like, she's someone that definitely needs to come back, because I think she was also a strong contender, even if it wasn't as apparent, and she made some questionable things at times.
Yeah, she was one of those people that definitely had a good strategic sense, but also didn't have the best social reads on some situations, I believe. So so she can maybe just tweak that a little bit. I definitely think she has a strong winner potential.
I agree.
Yeah, nice. Okay, my next pick is going to be someone from Animation Domination. Someone who, if a certain someone didn't quit at the end of the game and kind of ruined the end game, I think this person could have gotten proper credits.
Just kind of just kind of ruined the entire fucking.
Yeah. Ultimately, I feel really bad for a lot of these people in this season because it gets tied to this moment and this person. I'm not drafting that person. I'm drafting someone who kind of gets robbed from this, and that is Himiko Toga, who played a very good game in the season. Unfortunately, with just the last couple tribals that happen, it just kind of gets ruined, and a sour taste gets put in your mouth, and then she just loses fire making, and that's what decides her loss.
Yeah, and I'm like, at that point after the whole Silco thing, I was like, I just didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's kind of like I was too dumbfounded for that. I'm like, it already kind of just ruined the whole thing, and I'm like, and that's. So she did play well, and she definitely deserved a spot on this list.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, get ready to jump off a cliff because we have Geronimo. Yeah, played a pretty good game. He was pretty social as well, making quite a few alliances. I feel like Geronimo had to come back. He was definitely a strong player from one for the history books.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see Geronimo come back.
Def.
Nice. Okay, next up, I'll pick someone from our Survivor versus Big Brother. A lot of people like that season. I don't know if you saw any of the comments, but people seem to really enjoy it.
I have not. Well, I haven't seen the comments.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Well, I am going to pick the person who got advantage getting out of the game. I'm picking Dr. Will Kirby.
Solid choice. Very solid.
Yeah, he I think had the best winning potential at Final Five until everyone else had an idol or won an immunity, and it just became
that elimination was just so. Like you think like there have been times where I'm like, oh, could this happen? And it just never panned out. But when you finally see it actually happen in front of you, it's.
Yeah.
And for someone that actually was playing a good game too, it was definitely a very iconic elimination.
Exactly. So for just being in that elimination boat, I feel like he has to come back. Like we can't leave his story off of getting advantage getting out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he does better this time around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next up we got Shan Smith from from Big Brother versus Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
She did decent enough in there. Granted, I wouldn't say she was one of the front runners of it, but she's one of the females that made it longer than a lot others, because it was definitely a lot of the girls getting home or getting eliminated early and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit, little foggy on the other big moves she made throughout that season, mostly because I feel like that that season was a top-notch season, so there's a lot of people that kind of shine from there.
Exactly. She was my number 5 woman on my list, so you have poached someone who I was thinking about nabbing. But
you poached 3 so far, but 2 of them were guys, and they're lower on the list.
Got it. But yeah, no, Shan Smith played a really good game. What I remember, especially in the moment of when we were doing it, was that Final Five. Dan Giesling, the winner, and it was really the number 3rd in terms of the power ranking that we had, and we had Will Kirby and Shan Smith kind of above, and I believe even the strategic notches of the brand steel said that they were above Dan, and so in order for Dan to win, Shan had to go out there. Shan would have won if she could have made it past that tribal. So there's definitely she was very close this time, I think
so. I like Shan. Yeah, 41, she had a fall from grace, but like she's still a very enjoyable person to watch, and she definitely has a lot of strategic potential.
Mhm. Nice. Okay, my next pick, I'm going with someone else who kind of gets robbed in the end game. That's kind of the theme of this season, I guess, is people getting robbed at some point. And
We
this is
just have
someone who
Steve
gets
Rogers.
this is someone who got medevaced in the history books at Final Four. I'm bringing back Anne Boleyn.
Fair enough. She definitely she did pretty good, especially when playing with an ex. Those things can get a little rough, but yeah, she was a solid player in that season.
Yeah, I think that if her and Henry made it to the end together, I think Anne might have been able to snipe enough votes to honestly take the win. It was she was definitely more of the under radar, maybe the more palatable option for some of the juror members than a Henry. Yeah, but unfortunately, I guess Henry chopped her head off right at the Final Four. So
I mean, like, because what else does she have to survive? It's just like one more day.
yeah.
Just one more day.
Yeah, we saw in San Juan del Sur, they were like, it's just a couple more days. She can get through it for Missy. So
Yeah, craziness.
Mhm.
But all right, next up, we have from Animation Domination, or I feel like that season's not worth the title. It was like, give me a few minutes in my head to workshop the revamp title of that. We have Luisa from the Hero Tribe that was just getting decimated and all that stuff. She was someone that was carrying her team. She was one of the people that, had an alliance, was, trying to keep everything together. And I feel like kind of like another, follows this theme of like kind of, was done a little dirty. And so, she deserves another chance to shine.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of just unlucky that the heroes tribe of the animation just ended up falling apart very, very quickly.
It still hurts me to this day. I'm watching Bleach and I see Grimjow and obviously I'm excited to see him on there. But in my heart, I'm like, he got so fucking screwed over and underutilized.
Uh,
Anywho,
okay, well, okay. My next
oh wait,
pick.
I did two girls in a row.
Yeah, I was just realizing that.
I did as well.
Okay, I guess I'll just do another girl and then we'll do two guys in a row, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, my next girl, I'll go also from animation domination. I'm gonna bring out Junko Enoshima, who
Nice.
played a very dominant game, but was just too in the spotlight for way too long. Pretty much the entire merge to her elimination, she was in the spotlight, which is not where you want to be during that time.
No, especially since people are looking to get rid of one of you for any
Yeah.
reason.
Exactly. But yeah, she was also played a pretty dominant game, was in control a lot of the time. And I want to see if she can come back and keep that form.
See, we will see. All right, next up for the dudes, we have Derek from Big Brother from our, Big Brother versus Survivor. He was someone where he played a really great game, and he was definitely getting up there. Like it was between him and Dan, and Dan just had like a great like comfort behind game, but like Derek, like it was a stacked season and it was anyone's game. It's just that, Dan just played a little bit better. So Derek gets another chance to shine, hopefully.
I'm
Or he
glad you
gets
picked him. He was on my list too, actually. Another person that I think was a huge standout on that season. No, I'm glad you're bringing Derek back.
yeah.
Cool. Okay, my next guy, I'm gonna bring back someone from One for the History books again, and I'm bringing back Blackbeard.
Nice.
Yeah, he got a lot of votes. People were it seemed like they were targeting him quite a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing something. Well, you're not always doing something right if people keep trying to vote you out. But well, it depends on when where you are in the game. But like he definitely caused some mayhem and stuff.
Yeah, he was pretty much the villain in a way of the season, like because Henry probably would have been the villain if he's not the winner, so he gets edited maybe a little more as the hero. So Blackbeard kind of ends up becoming the this villain of the season.
Yeah, just how it goes sometimes, narrative and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think we just need pirates. We just need one pirate that's just like really really good each season or each series.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So next up for another guy. So this was also from Big Brother versus Survivor. We have the host of Survivor, Jeff Probst.
Oh, you picked Probst.
Yeah. I felt like he was good enough to come back. Definitely to see because kind of like there's always the thing of like, oh, sometimes you have to play 2 or 3 games of Survivor if you're that lucky, to really see what your weight in gold is playing the game. And so, I kind of want to see Jeff play again.
Yeah, I agree. He was one of my alternates. Yeah, I definitely agree. He was either coming back here or I was bringing him for Last Chance 3. It was going to be one of the two. So he was definitely on my radar. But yeah, I think he also played a great game. I think he was in a pretty good position, but gets rocked out.
Yeah, which so poetic.
Exactly. Yeah. He's gonna say no more rock draws. That's not
so
fair anymore.
Now it's just all gonna be fire making challenges.
Yeah, I could destroy fire making challenges. Let me get back out there.
It'd be funny if Jeff Probst for the longest time is like, you go out on Survivor and don't make fire, like you don't know how to make fire, but deep down inside, it's only to cover up his insecurity of not being able to make fire.
Yeah. He tries every night for like 5 hours, and he's just like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
He even has like a lighter, and it just doesn't turn on. He has to use an electric stove, so he can't use like a gas stove. He can't grill.
Yeah,
all that glimmers is not gold.
Yep, he's for as a Survivor host that actually has no survival experience.
Precisely.
Okay, that's a good pick. Okay, my next pick is someone that Ryan absolutely hated, but it created the story and the narrative to make him one of the best players on Holiday Havoc. We got Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo.
Oh fuck. He needs to be like an early boot. Come on. It doesn't look good for us.
The entire
it doesn't look season. Good for us.
Everyone loves Mr. Hanky.
I don't like potty humor.
But he's the best kind of potty humor. He's spreading holiday cheer one toilet at a time.
Jesus Christus.
Okay, but regardless of that, he plays a pretty great game, but is covered up by Ryan's hatred of him, which ends up fueling his game way more, to a point where I mean he's just a big part of the season in a way because he gets 4th.
Yeah, I mean I'm not gonna lie, he did do well, but it's just like I just can't. Cannot. I do not have the capability to not.
Mr. Hanky's going to be our next Forky.
Mr. Hanky's the next Danny Bow, right? No,
I mean, what if he goes out there and plays a great game? Is he still bad in your books?
We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we don't see. Hopefully he's pre-merged and then he just dissolves into our brand steel
Yeah, I'm pretty
obscurity.
sure he lost the fire making challenge, so it's probably because he just melted.
Jeez. I'm gonna move on. Next up, we have someone from animation deprivation. It's not a good one. Deprivation of a good season. It's funny how many people we have from that season on there, but it's not a good season.
Yeah. Well, this is my thing about it is that it was a great season until the last few like tribals. Like I think that there's a lot of great stuff happening, but just the ending ruins a lot of stuff. So they just got put on like this negative lights that we're kind of putting on it, but like the season was good if that just didn't happen, if those last few things didn't happen.
But the fact that it did happen,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that it's just this little part of the game, but there's a bunch
it's
of
like
there's a bunch of time that was great.
it's like the sequels trilogies in Star Wars. If if the Rise of Skywalker was good and it had a fulfilling ending and all that stuff, it would have made the other two. It would have made the sequel trilogies better as a result. But because it was kind of all over the place, didn't have like a satisfying enough ending, or at least a satisfying way to get there. It just makes the whole like sequel trilogy just like what the hell.
My only thing is it was about 5 minutes of terribleness that happened compared to
Grimjow
over
got
an
voted
hour.
off. There was a pagonging.
Yeah, but it was an exciting pagonging.
No.
Yeah, Princess Fiona got to be around. She kept fighting through.
Whatever. Anywho, that was a long introduction to who I'm about to introduce. So it's Jinx.
Jinx.
Betrayed by her paternal figure in the game, was doing relatively good, was one of the people that survived the hero pagonging, which I always feel kind of like elevates someone's game because they survived even longer and had to go through more.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, just another person that just deserves a second shot at
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, her impact on the story it comes definitely from Silco. I think she ends up driving the narrative of the story beyond her
Because
elimination.
that's why Silco quit, because of the grief.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And people give shit for Sierra doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to move forward with it and everything, but Silco couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he could for a while, and then when he realized that he basically got to the end, he said it wasn't worth it.
All right, your next pick.
Okay, my next pick. I am gonna pick yet another person from Animation Domination. I'm picking Marge Simpson.
Oh wait, she was Holiday.
Oh, Holiday. Oh yeah, that's right. She was Holiday. That's right.
But I understand why.
Yeah.
She was also on my list. I think she definitely was like a standout in that one, and it's hard to like stand out in that season.
Exactly. Yeah, a stacked season, and she's one of the people that contributed to it being stacked. One of the women also to make it furthest. It was definitely, there's a lot of fictional characters in this one, so there's less like actual women characters overall. But yeah, she definitely won an immunity as well. Yeah, she's gonna be a good addition, I think.
I agree. All right, let me write that down. All right, so for the last guy, I have two people, and I need to ask you: do you have, without Do you have Henry VIII on your list?
I have. He's one of the two choices.
One of the two choices. So I have two choices as well.
Who's your
One
second
is kind of
choice?
like one is more for entertainment value, and then the other is Henry VIII.
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I would just say my other person that I have is Ben Driebergen as a potential.
I feel like for the sake of All Star, and so we don't have someone else from animation domination. I'm gonna go with Henry VIII, who
Henry VIII.
won, subverted expectations, and yeah, came out on top in a very stacked season.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I definitely wanted to make sure he came in. So if you ended up going with other person, I probably was going to go with Henry VIII.
Well, I mean, Ben kind of deserves to be on the list.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't necessarily play the greatest game, but he was definitely he got a lot of screen time.
I think it's the fact that he actually did, as opposed to the fact that, well, I mean, he did play a very sociable game and stuff, but and also won quite a few challenges as well. I think it's the fact that it was him that actually won that was so amazing about the win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, he found an idol when he really had to, because if he didn't find that idol to create the advantage get in, yeah, it would have been bad. He probably would have gone home right there.
Probably.
So yeah, this has kind of been a compilation of both of our picks here, because we've decided you're Henry VIII, I'm picking Ben. Yeah, definitely, I think both people deserve to be there.
Yeah, and I mean, Ben, kind of like how, or no, wait, Ben, not Dan.
Yeah, not Dan.
Wait, who was Ben again?
Ben Driebergen.
That's history, right? Oh, I was thinking of Dan from.
Oh yeah. I'm saying Ben from the same season, but he lost. He got to the final three.
Oh, him. Sorry, I just know him as kind of, in my head, he's just known as Ben.
Yeah, I was saying Ben.
Fine, we've kind of what's the right word? We've kind of like kicked him to the curb quite a bit. So yeah, he can finally have his it's not that he's a bad winner. He's just not a great.
Yeah, well, it's hard to respect his win compared to other winners.
Anyway, so yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how things play out for him this time around.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Next up, and I feel like a broken record, choosing from the same season, even though we got Neferpitou.
Oh my gosh, she was my pick. Yeah, I was gonna bring her too.
Well, I was like looking at female or
yeah.
Well, I mean,
well, I will say the animation season was the season that females were dominating much more than the other seasons. So just in general, females more than we're probably going to come from that season.
I mean, the thing with Neferpitou, even during the anime, sometimes they're referred to as he, and it's a little ambiguous.
Yeah.
But like anatomy wise, it can tell a different story.
Yeah.
So it's tricky, but we're just gonna put them in the female slot.
Yeah, exactly. If you had to look at her and say, guy or girl, I guess if that's what we're having to do here.
Yeah. Since it is ambiguous and all that jazz. Anyhow.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Neferpitou, I think that's a good choice. Another person who I think played a pretty good game, but gets kind of just robbed of being able to look back on her game because of what happens at the end. So yeah. Neferpitou.
Yeah.
Okay, my next pick is someone who's no stranger to our brand steals.
Oh
Someone
my God.
who has played a lot. One of the best of our brand steals on our Survivor brand steal Mount Rushmore. I'm bringing
That's,
back Poverty Shallow.
yeah. Enough said.
Mhm.
Enough said.
Yeah, yeah. This is probably her worst performance, I will say, on our brand steals. Going, I think she gets 8th place.
I mean, I think she got 11 one time, but I would say in the fact of like where she wasn't really a forefront, or she wasn't really a forefront threat or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it wasn't her best personal outing.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, I mean, she's just going to be a big name that we could add to any season at this point. Like
Yeah.
she adds a lot of like if she can make a deep run, it's always going to be entertaining.
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
All right. We shall read them off. For me, I have Steve Rogers, Tashika, Geronimo, Shan Smith, Louisa Madrigal, Derek from Big Brother, Jeff Probst, Jinx, Henry VIII, and Neferpito.
Okay. I have for guys, Ira Hayes, Dr. Will, Blackbeard, Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo, and Ben Drebergen. And then for girls, I have Himiko Toga, Junko Enoshima, Anne Boleyn, Marge Simpson, and Poverty Shallow.
A piece of shit has to go down.
We will see. Or he will just become another fan favorite because of the hate.
I know you love Danny Boat right now because I've made such a big deal.
Yeah, it's funny when we started the whole Danny Bower thing. I was like lukewarm on her. Like I thought I think she didn't deserve the hate, but I wasn't saying she's one of the greatest. But now I do just because it's funnier.
Damn you! And I know it's my fault for creating the beast, but at the same time, I just can't help it.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't help it.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for our All-Stars 9 draft. We'll see you tomorrow, actually, for our All-Stars 9 brand steel simulation.
All right, guys. Till then, peace out.
Adios.